Hare Krishna. Namaste. Chapter 4, which is entitled as Jnana Yoga, Sloka 37. Yathaidhāṁsi samiddho gnir bhasma-sāt kurute rjuna jñānāgniḥ sarva-karmāṇi bhasma-sāt kurute tathā. There is two reasons for this sloka. Having explained in the previous sloka, where Krishna said that the sins are compared to ocean and the knowledge is like boat, one can cross over with this knowledge the unlimited sins, the ocean. Now, the first question arises from this example is Arjuna had a doubt that since the boat and the ocean exist even after crossing or while in the process of crossing, they're going to be there. One might still be inclined to return to the ocean, or there are chances that one can meet with the situation of drowning in the same ocean. So that's question one. And the question two is how the single entity called knowledge can remove multiple sins, the endless sins collected over time which doesn't have a beginning. If there are sins and merits that still not been rectified, then one still have to suffer and enjoy them to exhaust it. Because this is said in the Upanishads also. Avasyam anubhoktavyam krutam janma subhasubham nabhoktam kshiyate karma kalpakoti satairapi. It is said it is difficult to escape from the results of the good and bad deeds of all the past in a life, because it's been collected. Karmas are trillions and trillions of karma. It all has to be finished. To finish them, one has to take many lifetimes. Therefore, how is it possible that this karma can take care of all these things? Therefore, in this second example, in this sloka, the 37th sloka, Krishna now compares the knowledge to a blazing fire and the sins to be the firewood. So when you put a firewood in a blazing fire, it burns the firewood into ashes. And that's the second example that Krishna is giving here in this sloka. Yathaidhāṁsi samiddho gnir bhasma-sāt kurute Arjuna jñānāgniḥ sarva-karmāṇi bhasma-sāt kurute tathā. Arjuna, O Arjuna, yatha, just as yathaidhāṁsi, firewood, samiddho means blazing agnihi, blazing fire, bhasma-sāt, ashes, kurute turns, bhasma-sāt, kurute means reduces to ashes, jñānāgniḥ, the fire of knowledge, sarva-karmāṇi, all reactions to the material activities, all karmas, bhasma-sāt, to ashes, kurute, it turns, tathā, similarly. So, yatha, tathā, like how that, likewise this one. What it means is, as a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all the reactions to the material activities. So that's a translation. Just as the blazing fire turns into ashes all the dry logs of wood, however many it be, the fire of knowledge turns all the sins to ashes. That's what Krishna is giving as a second analogy here. In the first example of ocean, one crosses over the sins through the knowledge of both. But the desire of wanting to enjoy or commit sin, the bija, the seed, the traces may still remain within. Therefore, Krishna here he says, even those seeds of wanting to commit sins, wanting to enjoy things, will be destroyed or burnt into ashes. So by this, you can understand from the previous example and here, Arjuna, the sins seem to be appearing there as ocean. Now what I'm saying is, everything is burnt, completely burnt. So it is important to note here that both sins and merits, that is papa and punya, has to be burnt. It is not just the papa has to be burnt, the sins has to be burnt. We've been talking about sins mostly here, the papa, but it also implies the punya part. Because sins means bad karma, punya means good karma. For good karma, one has to take birth, enjoy the results of good karma that they have done in previous life. Likewise, if one has done bad karma, one has to be here or take birth to suffer the results of the bad karma. For one to attain the spiritual world, one has to be free from both good and bad karma, as they both can be compared to an iron shackle or a gold shackle, chains of a prisoner. A person who has been prisoned is feet or shackled by iron chain or by a gold chain. How does it really matter? He has been chained. Whether it's gold or iron, make no really any sense. So gold is like punya karma, iron is like a papa karma. Both of them are going to bind us over here in this world. So both has to be removed. Both chain has to be removed. One cannot say, look, I am having a prisoner cannot say to another prisoner, look, I have a gold chain. You only have an iron chain. Iron chained person should not think, oh my God, I have an iron chain and that person has a gold chain. Meaning if one is suffering bad due to bad karma or one is enjoying due to the good karma, both are dangerous. Both are pulling us, deep rooting us into the samsara. For one who doesn't have this jnana from a guru, will never be able to destroy the karma. They have to go through the sufferings as much as they have the remaining karmas. And since they don't have the knowledge of this subject of Atma, Paramatma, not only they have to suffer, but they will also continue accumulating new karmas, which means they will never ever be able to get out of this samsara of repeated birth and death. So it has to be a blazing fire. It cannot be a simple fire. It has to be a blazing fire, like a forest fire. The forest fire will destroy everything, leaving nothing to remain. So that Agni, that fire, has to be a blazing fire, which is the knowledge here that Krishna talks about. And that blazing fire of knowledge can burn the firewood, sins and merits into ashes. So Arjuna's question, well, the wood logs are seen, fire are seen, and the result of fire burning the wood logs as ashes are seen. Whereas, how can I see the sins? How can I see the knowledge? And how can I see it's been burnt out? We are not experiencing, we are not seeing these things like how we can see the other thing. So Krishna's response, there are things that has to be experienced internally. Not that everything can be shown to be proved. Well, how can I accept that, Krishna? Well, if you are hungry, you eat something to satisfy your hunger, is it not? Now, that satisfaction is personal and only you can experience it, which cannot be shown to others. Others cannot experience what you experience when you're eating. They personally have to eat to get that experience. Likewise, these things are experienced internally. When a man can't take any more food, we can understand he is full and satisfied. That too, that man has to express, otherwise we will not know. Likewise, by our actions and dealings of the situations, we can experience if the sins are getting burnt or not, through the knowledge that we have. Therefore, this is only known to each individually. So, two things happens in this process. Number one, by this knowledge, the existing karmas, all the unmanifested karmas are burnt into ashes. And by performing Nishkama Karma Yoga, the new karmas that occurs will also be burnt. It's a parallel process. By knowledge, the karmas are being burnt. By action, with this proper knowledge, by doing this action, the new karmas doesn't get accumulated. The question might arise, if all the karmas are burnt, that means one should not exist in this world. One should have attained moksha. As we saw earlier, the existence of our body means we are already in the karma program. These karmas are called prarabdha karma. It has started. This karma will not be burnt. Burning this karma, which is already we are in, means leaving the body, which is not possible as the prarabdha karma switch has been already turned on. Then what is that the knowledge burns? Is a question. It burns the aparabdha karma, the unmanifested karmas, which are in the queues to become manifested. Those karmas are all destroyed to ashes. So, what's the purpose of not burning the prarabdha karma? Does this knowledge have any effect towards the prarabdha karma or not? Could be another question. Certainly the prarabdha karma are extremely weakened by the influence of this knowledge. But they are still situated in the person with realization of Atma. The main purpose of it to exist is by the will of the Lord in order to show a proper conduct to the world. How a realized person who is going through the prarabdha karma deals with it. Yathaidhāṁsi samiddho gnir bhasma-sāt kurute rjuna jñānāgniḥ sarva-karmāṇi bhasma-sāt kurute tathā. Namaste. Hare Krishna.